Today I'm going to show you how to create clear stickers, and then we'll use those stickers on a project. And so the project today is going to be a fun fold card idea that I am converting into a flip out for a journal page. But if you don't create journals, still stick around because this is a great fun fold card to create for a birthday card or as a greeting card. So it's a little bit for everyone today. So to get started on this project, I have gone ahead and printed out some butterflies, and I've gone ahead and cut those just roughly out of my paper. And then I'm going to be using some clear packing tape, as well as I have a bowl of water here. So I'm using Scotch packing tape, and it's just what I found in my house. So scavenge through your house and see if you can find some clear packing tape. But if you don't have any and you need to go buy some, then I would first check like the Dollar Tree or Family Dollar or some of these discount stores and buy inexpensive packing tape. The only thing I found was that one brand that I did use, and I think that's called the Duck brand, it worked just fine. The only problem I had is in the process, it's very easy, in the process of making the stickers, it's very easy to rip that tape. So you just have to be a little bit more careful with it. So what I'm doing first is I'm just laying out my butterflies onto my tape. And typically I do one at a time, but for today's video, I'm just going to do them all at the same time. So I'm just going to lay them out, and then I'm just burnishing them with my tool here. And so you can just use your fingers or whatever. I just felt like this really made them attach better. So once I have them all onto the tape, I'm just going to cut each one off individually. And then I want to fussy cut around it. Nothing major. I just want to follow the outline of the butterfly, and you can leave just a little bit of white edge or a lot of white edge. It'll just be the tape that's going to be left around your butterfly. You won't see that white when we get done. So once I have them fussy cut out, I'm just going to lay them in my water. So while I'm cutting them all out, they're all soaking. Once I have them all cut out and soaking, I'm just going to go back, find some of the ones that were in there at the beginning, because now they're ready to turn into stickers. And so I'm just going to gently roll the paper off. And this is the process with the other tape that I had with the duct tape. I kept ripping the tape, but it's the sticker itself. But you just have to be more gentle and lay it down and just gently do this. And even hold it in the water would help be a little bit more gentle. It's really this simple. You just want to get all of that paper rolled off the back. And this works great for copy paper. I did make the mistake when I printed these out, and I printed them on my premium paper. You never really need the premium paper. It worked just fine for that, but copy paper is a lot easier to get the backing off because, you know, it's a lot thinner. So once I have the backing off of it and I rinse it, you'll see I just keep putting it back in the water and rinsing it off. But once I have all of the white paper off of the sticker and I have it rinsed off good, I'm just going to lay it with the sticky side up on my paper towel because I don't want to get stuck to the paper towel and have to clean that paper off again. So you can see if you leave them soaking long enough, the paper just rolls off easily, and you'll feel little bits and pieces. That's why I just go by the feel of what I feel. If I feel a little grit or a little paper on it, and I keep rinsing it till I get it good and clean. So while our butterflies are drying, let's go ahead and create our fun fold flip out. So I've got an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I'm cutting it in half at 5.5 inches. So once I have that piece, and that's just your normal size that you cut for a card, I'm going to cut my first piece down to 6.5, so 6.5 by 5.5, and then I'm going to bring my other piece in, and I need to cut a piece off of it that measures 6 by 4. And then I want to cut one more piece, so we're going to pull in one of the leftover strips that we had, and I'm just going to cut out a 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 square out of the strip. So once you have your 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 cut, we want to cut that into a triangle. So I'm just going to lay the square onto my paper trimmer, and I'm just going to line 2 of the corners up with the paper trimmer. And then once I have that where it is very small, so you got to find a way to hold it down so it doesn't move. Then I'm going to raise my blade up. I don't want to cut from edge to edge because it just wrinkles the paper. So I want to raise my blade and just start in the middle and go back and forth if I can. I struggled a little bit with that with this small piece, but you kind of want to start with this type of paper trimmer. You do want to start in the middle of the paper or inside the paper so that you don't scrunch up the edges. So for the other cardstock that we cut, we want to take the first piece, the 5.5 by 6.5. You want to put the 6.5 side into your paper trimmer, and you want to score at 4.25. And then for the 6 by 4 inch piece, you want to put it in at the 6 inch to the top, and you want to score at 3. Then we want to just go ahead and fold on those score lines. I'm just pressing them down to get a good crease in my card. And so now I've gone ahead and cut out the papers to cover up the cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you those measurements as I glue them. So the triangle comes from a square that measures 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. So we do the same thing. You cut a square 1 5/8 by 1 5/8, and then you cut the triangle out of it, just like I did with the cardstock. And so everything I'm leaving either 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. It just really depended on the look I was going for. So I think that was 1/8 of an inch that I left for the triangle, but I think for the rest we'll see. So for this piece, it is for the outer edge here. I cut it down to 2.25 by 5.25. And that way I'm just going to center it up on my little flap here. And the paper that I'm using, I just printed it out on 32-pound premium paper, and this is a digital from Artie Mays. And so I think this is the free digital for this month. Don't hold me to it. You can go to her Ko-Fi page and you can see she has freebies, and then she has ones you can purchase. And I think all of these were the freebies. I just have them all in one file on my computer, and so I have some that I've purchased and then some that I got as freebies as well. And then also the butterflies came from there as well. So it's Artie Mays Ko-Fi. So this piece now, I just cut it just like you would normally cut for a card. It measures 4 by 5.25. And if I remember, I can link to Artie Mays' Ko-Fi below. Each month she does give away free digitals. And that was the great thing about digitals is I did make a mistake when I first was figuring out how to make this for what size I wanted to make. This is a typical fun fold card that you'll see, but I kind of wanted to do sizes a little bit different for this card right here. And so when I messed up my paper, it was fine because I can always print a new one. So now, that was not in the video though. That was when I was practicing. So for the inside of this card, since this is going to be in a journal, I want this to be journaling space. If you were making a greeting card, you wouldn't have to put these pieces on the inside. But since this is a journaling space, I just put in some print that you could journal on. So now here's our little corner piece. We want to attach it to this little flap that's on the front of our card. So I just want to attach it, adding glue to 2 of the sides, not the longest side, but the 2 little short sides. We want to add glue to those, kind of like we're making a little pocket. And then I'm just going to attach that to the flap on the far right-hand side. This is going to hold our card closed. This is a little tuck spot for our card. And then now all we need to do is attach our smaller card to the front of our card. So what I want to do is I just want to kind of eyeball here, get an idea where it's going. I want the card to be tucked down into the little tuck spot so it keeps it closed. So I just want to get an idea before I glue it. I like to dry fit things before I actually add the glue, because this glue kind of sticks really quickly, so it will just tear up my paper if I'm not careful. So if I dry fit, I got a better idea. So now I'm just going to slide the edge of this card into my tuck spot to kind of get an idea where it's going, and then I'll just line everything up straight, and then I'll press it down. And so I want to open up my card and make sure everything looks straight on the inside there. And then I'm just going to press it down really good. So you have journaling spots. When you open your card, you have journaling spots on the flap as well as on the inside of this smaller card that's attached. So now we're going to add our butterfly to the front of this card. Now this will stick. Once it dries, it is a little sticky, but I'm not certain how well it will stick. So what I like to do is just come back with a little bit of my glue here. This glue dries clear, so you want some glue that's going to dry clear. And then I just add a little bit of glue to the back of my sticker. And then I'm just going to attach it to the front, and you'll never see the glue there. I'm just going to attach it there to the front of my card. I think that looks really pretty. I did burnish it down, but after I did that, it made the glue ooze, and I wish I hadn't have burnished it down. I think it would have been fine just pressing it with my fingers. So now I'm going to bring in some acetate, and I want to put these butterflies away real quick before my cats get into them, and then we'll finish creating the cards. So what I'm doing is they're sticky enough that you can just attach them to a piece of acetate. I feel like you could attach them to parchment paper as well, but the acetate's what I had in my craft room, so I thought this would be perfect for the butterflies. And I'm going to save one of the butterflies off because I'm going to use that on my card as well. So once I have these on my acetate, I'm just going to add them to my ephemera holder that has pockets. I'm just going to put it in the large pocket here. I thought about putting it in one of the clear pockets, but it's a little bit too big. So I'm just going to add it to the little file folder pocket. And I do have a video, I can link that below as well, where I show you how to create this ephemera holder. So now I'm going to run a test. I'm going to stick this butterfly down on the inside of my card, and I'm going to see, once I'm making my journal and stuff, because it's going to take me a while to make this journal. So once I get the journal made, then I'll see if it's loose or not. So I'm just pressing it down really good. It seems to be sticking just fine, but I'm going to run a test just to see. But if you want to be on the safe side, just add a little bit of clear glue to the back of it. And I am burnishing this one down now because I thought if it's got a little bit of sticky on it, in order to be sure that it really sticks good, I'm just going to burnish it. So there we have our fun fold flip out for our journal. Or this will make a great greeting card or birthday card. You would just have to add a sentiment somewhere or write a little note on it. Now I want to show you how I'm going to use it in my journal. I'm going to use it in a 5x7 journal. If you make larger journals, just increase the size of this or use it the size it is on the middle of a larger page. I think it would be cute on the middle of a larger page because you can also make this a pocket. So here is my 5x7 journal. I think it's going to fit perfect on the page. It may be a little large for my 5x7 journal page, but I think it should be fine. So if you want to make one even smaller, you could, but you can use this as a pocket on the side and on the top. So this is just an idea. I went ahead and just used card measurements for this so that it could work for both journalers and card makers, but also you could use this, you just change the size up a bit, and I think this is going to be a fun flip out in my journal to even have like a little hidden message there. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed seeing me create this, and be sure to check out my other video below. If you haven't seen how I made that ephemera holder, you can check that out. And I'll also link to this journal. This is one of my favorite journals that I have created that I kept. I have some that I've sold, and they were my favorites as well, but I kept this one, and I really love it, and I always debate to write in it, but I haven't decided what I want to use this journal for, so I just look at it every now and then. So I'll link it below so you can see how I created it as well. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.